When my dad said it, his voice wasn't shaking. That's the part that stuck. He wasn't losing control, he was exercising it. We were standing in the kitchen, the one that still smelled like lemon cleaner and old coffee. My sister sat at the table, arms folded, eyes fixed on her phone like she was waiting for the verdict to come down. Her kid was in the living room, volume too loud on the TV, blissfully unaware of the adult negotiations happening on his behalf. Until you apologize, my dad said. You're not welcome here. It wasn't framed as a discussion. It wasn't even really about the apology. It was a condition for access to the house, to holidays, to being included as family. I felt a brief, sharp urge to explain myself, to remind him that I hadn't yelled, hadn't insulted anyone, hadn't done the thing my sister accused me of doing. But I recognized the trap fast enough. Explanations were just another way of agreeing that guilt was already established. So I said, understood. Not sarcastically, not quietly, just clearly. I went to my room and closed the door. My hands shook for a minute, then steadied. That surprised me too. I didn't sleep much, not because I was crying, but because my mind had switched into inventory mode. Documents, clothes chargers, the things that mattered, the things that didn't. I packed like someone preparing for weather, not war. Around 2 a.m, I opened my laptop and started untangling what had never really been mine. The phone plan first, then the streaming accounts, the cloud storage we'd all shared since my 20s because it was easier that way. I changed passwords, transferred subscriptions, removed my card from family autopay. Each step was small and boring and oddly calming. I hesitated at the bank account, the joint one my mom had insisted we keep, just in case. I stared at the balance, then moved my portion out and closed my access. I left a note in the system, not emotional, just factual. By morning, my car was loaded. I left the key on the counter. No note, nothing to argue with. I drove to a place I'd already lined up weeks earlier, quietly, without telling anyone. A small apartment with uneven floors and too much light in the mornings. It wasn't dramatic. It was available. I slept for 3 hours and woke up feeling hollowed out, not relieved. That was the part I hadn't planned for, the quiet after decisive action. The next day, around noon, someone started knocking on my door like it owed them money. It wasn't the tentative knock of a neighbor. It was frantic, loud, insistent. I knew who it was before I looked through the peephole. My mom. Her hair was pulled back too tight, her purse hanging open like she'd left in a hurry. She knocked again, harder this time, and called my name. Not angrily. Urgently. Like the volume itself might undo what had already happened. I opened the door. She surged forward, ready to step inside, words spilling out before she'd even made eye contact. What is going on? Your father is beside himself. Your sister is. I didn't move out of the doorway. She stopped short, confused more than offended. That pause, that half-second where she realized I wasn't automatically making space for her, felt louder than the knocking had. I'm not letting anyone in right now, I said. She blinked. I just need to talk to you. I know, I said. I'm not available for that. The words sounded strange coming out of my mouth. Not harsh, not defensive, just final. Her face shifted quickly. Hurt first, then disbelief, then something close to anger. You can't just leave. This is your family? I didn't leave, I said. I complied. She stared at me like she didn't recognize the version of me standing there. Maybe she didn't. She tried again, softer this time. Your father didn't mean it like that. I felt something in my chest tighten, then loosen. He said exactly what he meant. Silence stretched between us. I could hear someone upstairs walking around, a toilet flushing, normal life continuing in other units, while this small standoff unfolded. I need you to fix this, she said finally. That was the moment I understood what was actually being asked of me, not reconciliation, not peace. Absorption. I was supposed to take the discomfort back into myself so the rest of the family could exhale. I can't, I said. And I won't. Her mouth opened, then closed. She looked at the doorframe, at my shoes, anywhere but my face. So that's it, for now, I said. She waited for more. I didn't give it to her. After she left, I locked the door and slid down to sit on the floor. My hands were shaking again, but differently now, like after a long run, not like fear. The messages came later. From my dad. From my sister. Some angry, some confused, some pretending nothing irreversible had happened. I didn't respond right away. Over the next few weeks, the practical consequences settled in. Bills rerouted. Accounts separated. Holidays suddenly required planning that didn't assume my presence. I heard through mutual relatives that my parents were shocked by how serious I'd been. I was shocked too. Not by their reaction, but by my own capacity to stop explaining myself. There wasn't a victory moment. No apology arrived. No dramatic reconciliation, just a steady, unfamiliar quiet where constant negotiation used to live. Sometimes I missed them so badly it felt physical. Other times I felt lighter than I had in years. Both things were true. Self-respect, I learned, doesn't come with applause. It comes with space, and sometimes with loneliness. But it also comes with the strange relief of no longer having to prove you deserve to be somewhere that already told you the terms. I stood by the door that day not to punish anyone. I stood there because, for once, I believe my own understood.